Could I just ask the gentleman over there?
Yes.
Why do you think there's been literally hundreds of millions of fossils? Normally, fossils would not survive because they've been eaten by predators.
Well, the vast majority of fossils, of course, are associated with the sea, with rivers, and with that's where you find the majority, shallow seas. If you go fossil hunting, as I often do, you will usually find sea life. Sea life actually fossilises them much easier. If you're looking for something like an early type of ape or an early type of land animal of any type, they're far more difficult to find. Things like woods and forests, things don't fossilise very easily in them, so they're far more difficult to find. But anything associated really with water is the best way of finding a fossil.
But you will find fossils that are not sea.
You will, yes, but you won't find quite so many. And of course, that's where you'll find a lot of gaps. So they're far rare, more rare, as it were, to find something like that.
But I mean, there have been many fossils found of land animals.
There have, yes, and there have of course been many land animals.
Yeah.
If you can imagine in years to come, trying to find a wolf fossil, for instance, there aren't that many wolves around. Now you imagine trying, if it's a 50 million years time, we go out and look for a fossil. Where do you start to look for a wolf fossil? If they're extinct, assumingly. It would be a difficult find, and you wouldn't expect to find lots of them, would you?
But what is the cause of land fossils that have been caught in a cataclysmic situation?
Again,
some have been actually found giving birth. Some have been actually found eating another one.
Things that fall into mud are often a very common one. Things that get buried in floods, such like. It's again, you're usually associated with water or being buried fairly quickly.
I think there are many evidences of catastrophe rather than just a gradual.
It's usually a catastrophe.
So catastrophe is
becoming
a bit more popular in geological circles.
Yes, but catastrophe doesn't necessarily mean
a
Noah's flood.
Well, some believe it is, and some have got their still thinking about it. But anyway, yes, we're going to have to. I'll answer some questions afterwards, but I think we need to wind up so that we can pack up and let the this is still going. He's trying to buy pictures. Let the caretaker come and close up in a moment.
Right.
Hello, yeah, Andrew.
Steve.
Hello, Steve.
How you doing?
So you're an ardent evolutionist?
Yeah.
You can't really prove any of it. It's all down to lots of people speculating.
Well, you can actually. No, you're wrong. If you look at the evidence, look at the proof, look at the geological side of it.
But the geologists don't always agree.
They don't agree on everything. That's true. But then.
So there's stacks they don't agree on.
They wouldn't agree on every single thing.
Because you don't know.
That's not actually true. No, there's certain things, as I say, like the laying down of iron. That's well recorded. Now, why would iron lay down in that way, unless life was creating oxygen? It's about the oxygen levels, basically. It's very difficult to explain very quickly. It is
explain away like that. I mean,
I've got to show you the actual pictures of the areas and the stromatolites that form with these areas with algal forms of.
But you understand my point? That one fossil, you can't, without any 100% certainty, to say that it actually had a child.
We'll assume everything died. You can't assume everything died off, and of course. like the fossils of the trilobites, we have a period,
Well, we
a long
we know
period
that
of time, and
we know
20,000 at least species.
Yeah, but we know that the actual fossils themselves died off. Otherwise, there wouldn't be fossils, would there?
Well, the fossils died off, of course they do, the same as everything else did. They all go to heaven.
No, I'm just saying.
The trees.
That we know they existed, and we know that they died. But it doesn't. Apart from that, you can't say it came from this or that. I can't see any.
Well, we know they existed, and we know they died, and we know that things followed on that were similar and associated with each fossil. Unless suddenly we find a dead end, in which case we find extinctions. Extinctions are very common things. Most of life on Earth has become extinct, of the species and the subspecies. But in subspeciation is something else you've got to take into account. Things that start to move from one area to another, different environments in which they live. If you're suddenly living in a cold environment, obviously some things will die and some things adapt to that environment. It's how extinctions work, but at the same time it's how things strive through to the next generation. It's those that survive it.
But there's nothing.
And then there's a gap, and then there's a gap to explode out.
Yeah, but nothing can change that. I mean, even in Darwin's theory, when he's right at the beginning, he talks about pigeon fanciers and things.
Yeah.
And you can. The pigeons still remain pigeons at the end of it. To extrapolate from there, this must be what happened with the whole of life.
Of course, the dodo is also related to the pigeon. That became extinct, but it was associated to it. It was part of the same family. No, it didn't become a pigeon, but it started off as a pigeon derivative.
No, I mean that's not proved.
It is proved.
No, it's guess.
It's not just guess. We can actually trace the DNA of it as well.
Yeah,
it's actually been proved through the DNA test.
Yeah, but there's lots of
as more and more science comes out.
Because God has made us in a certain way, and it's got this similar DNA within everything that is made. That's all.
Well, we certainly have very similar DNA to all the other.
Yeah, of course, because God, because he made them out of the same thing. He made them from the earth.
Well, he didn't. He made us from the earth. The rest was just
all the other animals. Yeah.
Made the animals, then man from the earth. I think it was. I don't know what we could be the same thing as them, but yes, still it's interesting. I don't think I'm going to convince you, but I do think the other side ought to be heard.
Yeah, but you ought to be careful, because one day you're going to stand before the living God.
Well, I'm not. I'm personally
we'll all stand
that's a personal belief, that
everyone.
Yeah.
Believe me, you will.
Okay.
See you then.
Cheerio. Take care. Sorry. Maybe it's right.
Now, I am nothing. I'm not on the committee or anything. So, would you like to?
Well, I've given talks here. But I'm sort of not really a sort of a professional scientist. I'm a geography teacher. What I have given talks on, so I gave a talk on social Darwinism, the effects of the natural selection when you carry it over to capitalism or social engineering.
But social Darwinism, it's not something that's necessarily It's not something that necessarily you'd follow as an atheist or even as a Darwin himself didn't follow social Darwinism. It's something which is.
Oh yes.
I think you'll find Hitler followed that more actually.
Okay. Well, I can't make it to January, but hopefully.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for your contribution. It's very helpful. I always enjoy having some.
I didn't know it was trilobites. Trilobites are actually my pet subject.
Yes.
I studied trilobites. I keep trilobites. I even deal in trilobites. So trilobites are my thing. But
did you like my little presentation of the?
Yeah, it's a nice picture of the trilobites there. You've got to bear in mind they're not all from the Cambrian, of course.
I realised that there were some Permian ones there as well. Yes.
Yes. I think Denovian.
Eyes on stalks.
Denovian.
Yeah. But they're fascinating little things.
Or Devonian, I should say Devonian. Denovian. Anyway, take care.
Yes, thank you.
All the best.
Your
Cheers.
name is?
Steve.
Steve. And I'm Mark.
Okay, nice to see you.
Okay.
Cheers. Bye bye.